Today we're going to be taking a look at the best hitch options for your 2012 Honda CR-V. So up top here we're going to have our Draw-Tite Class 3. Right below that we're going to have our etrailer hitch that's also going to be a Class 3. And then finally on the bottom we're going to have our CURT Class 3. Now if I was looking for a hitch for my CR-V, I personally would go with the Draw-Tite because it is going to have an increased weight capacity over the other two and just some little minor features that the other ones aren't going to have. But let's take a closer look at all three of our hitches and go over some of the features. Whenever you're looking at hitches, weight rating is going to be a big question. Now all three of our hitches are going to be great for putting a bike rack in because they are that Class 3 rated and they're going to have that 2" by 2" receiver tube opening. So it is going to open up a lot of options for accessories. If you plan on doing some light duty towing, that's where the numbers really are going to come into play. Our etrailer and our CURT are both going to be rated at 350 pounds of tongue weight, which will be the maximum downward force at the receiver tube. They're both going to have a 3,500 pound gross trailer weight rating, which is the amount it can pull, including the trailer and everything we have loaded on it. Our Draw-Tite is going to have a little bit higher of a rating. The tongue weight is going to be 675 pounds, and our gross trailer weight rating is going to be 4,500 pounds. So if you do plan on doing some towing, that extra weight capacity is going to be nice. Also, with some of the larger cargo carriers, they can have a rating up to 500 pounds. But with all these numbers in mind, you always want to double check your owner's manual and never exceed the manufacturer's recommended weight on your CR-V or exceed the accessories weight going into your hitch. Now, CURT does recommend using a safety strap when carrying any non-trailer loads, such as a bike rack or a cargo carrier. Now, as far as the appearance goes, once we have our hitches installed on our CR-V, they're going to sit relatively in the same spot. They're going to sit right below our bumper, and the cross tube is going to be visible. Now you'll notice that the Draw-Tite is going to have a little bit more of a steeper angle going out towards the side mounting plates. So we're still going to see that cross tube, but it's not going to be quite as visible. And each one is going to have its own distinctive finish to it. The Draw-Tite is going to have this semi-gloss kind of black finish. Our etrailer is going to have a flat carbide black finish. And the CURT here is going to have a high gloss black finish, which we see on most trailer hitches. I personally like the carbide black finish because it is going to kind of blend in more nicely on the bottom of our CR-V, and it is going to hide dirt and minor scratches a lot better than the high gloss shiny finish. Now a few very minor differences between all three of our hitches. Our etrailer and our CURT are both going to utilize a plate style safety chain connection, which really isn't going to be a make or break, but you want to keep in mind because they are going to have somewhat of a small hole. So if you have really small hooks on your safety chains, it may be a little bit difficult to get those in place. Whereas with the Draw-Tite, it's going to have this loop style, so we're going to have a lot larger of an opening and easier access from all angles to put those hooks on. Now Draw-Tite is also welded a bracket to the left of the receiver tube or towards the driver's side. That way we can have a bracket here and mount up any kind of electrical accessory, whether we have a 4-pole flat or a 7-way, to be ready for us when we hook up to tow. All of our hitches are going to use a standard 5/8 pin and clip or a locking device, but you'll notice on the Draw-Tite here, we're going to have a secondary hole. It's going to be towards the back of our receiver tube. Now that's going to be used exclusively for a J-pin stabilization device, which is an anti-rattle device, which is nice if any of the accessories we have don't have one built in. Now as far as installation goes, none of our hitches are going to require any kind of drilling or cutting into the frame. However, we are going to have to do some minor trimming of a plastic underbody panel in order for the attachment points to reach the frame. And again, they're all going to sit in relatively the same spot, so as far as ground clearance goes, each one is going to have about the same, maybe a 1/4 inch difference, nothing that's really going to make or break that ground clearance. Now as far as how far the receiver tube sticks out, they're all going to stick out again relatively about the same, nothing that any kind of folding accessory is going to have a big impact on any three of our hitches. So to sum everything up, if you're getting a hitch purely for towing on your CR-V, I would go with the Draw-Tite because it is going to have that increased weight rating as well as that bracket to mount up any kind of electrical accessory. Now if you're using it for recreational purposes like a bike rack, any one of these hitches is going to be a good option because we're going to be able to carry up to 4 bikes or possibly more with each one of these hitches. As far as appearance goes, that's really going to be a personal preference of yours because of the finish, because they're all going to sit relatively the same right below the bumper. Now as far as the ease of installation goes, again, they're all going to install pretty much the same, no major modifications, and they're just going to bolt right up to our frame. And that'll finish up your look at the best hitch options for your Honda CR-V.